Bay will be discussed in executive session, some not. Is it the staff's advice that we have our executive session prior to any public discussion?
Yes.
Okay, so in that case, we need a motion and second to enter into executive session for a wide range of subjects. Staff assures me that most of these will be quite brief, some not so. We have 2 matters of personnel, 3 matters related to litigation.
One of personnel, you already did the other.
No, I think isn't there one
appointment.
contract and one appointment?
Oh,
Each
all the
one.
appointment.
3 matters related to litigation and 4 matters related to real estate, so that's a total of 9. Can I have a unanimous motion and second for?
Before
Yes.
you do that, Mayor, what I would like to do is I would like to make a motion to pull this Echo Bay information here and push it back into January, and right now focus on what we have before us as far as budgetary issues and things of that sort. I think that over the last number of months, we've had virtually no conversation about Echo Bay, the Armory, or the city yard, and I think that I would prefer, and I don't know how the council members feel, but I would prefer to discuss this all in January at a time when we have no other distractions. So I'm putting it out there, and if anybody wants to second it, or...
I'll second it.
Could I just, a point of order? I'm not sure is it a motion or is it just simply to defer the discussion? I'm just trying to, are you moving to
I think
table?
he's moving to table
Right.
all of the Echo Bay.
Because I would think the motion to table would be appropriate after a motion is made and seconded on the underlying resolution, and then the motion to table is made after that.
You can make a motion to
Table anytime?
Okay. Is that debatable?
Motion to table? Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, can you discuss it?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I would, I appreciate the suggestion. I don't agree with it. Council has no obligation, of course, to vote on this month. That's a judgment that we will all make collectively next week and whenever a vote is put before us. But I think it's premature to suggest a delay without even having the conversation. The idea, I think, of our discussions today is to make sure that there's maximum information flow to every member of council and that we have an opportunity to discuss that information together and then share it with the public. And I don't see why we would wait on something like that. When we choose to act on this is a separate question, which we can, debate when we get to that.
Well,
Yeah, go on.
No, I disagree with you. I think that, over the last number of months, we've had virtually no discussion when this information was available to us earlier.
Actually, I don't think that's correct.
Well, I don't agree with you. And my feeling is, again, I don't want this distraction at this particular point in time. I feel there's so much going on. The issue of Echo Bay, the issue of City Yard, the issue of the Armory are such important items for the future of the city of New Rochelle that I would like to work on those separately from the budget cycle that we're going into right now. So all I'm doing is I'm putting a motion out there. I mean, you could vote it down and say no and go forward. So
I didn't say your
I
motion was
think that
legitimate. I just expressed my opposition to it.
Okay,
So,
that's fine.
Any further comment on the motion?
Can I ask the city manager, how would this affect, if we were to delay until when, January, you said?
January, I was saying.
How would that affect ongoing?
Well, I would not recommend, I think it's important for us to brief the council on where we are in the status of the negotiations and the design of the city yard. I wouldn't be so forward as to suggest a time when you discuss those publicly or vote on them. But we are prepared to tell you where we are on the LDA for the Echo Bay project. The finding statement and the FEIS have been completed, so council can determine whether they wish to review those or not. And I do think we need to inform you on where we are in the city yard. So there are really kind of like 2 issues here, informing versus consideration. We've been working hard to get to the point where we're ready to give you the information that you need, that we believe you need on both issues to move forward. So, I mean, I don't want to, please don't put me in the middle of debating a motion of council that I have nothing to vote on.
I mean,
I'm not part of the equation.
I must say, I've never before heard a suggestion saying, well, I don't even want to talk about this now. I don't even want to get the information now. I understand the point you're making. There's a lot, right? There's a lot on your plate, but it just strikes me as a sort of an odd request. I mean, there are always multiple items on our agenda, always multiple things that we have to consider and think about, and this is one that's been percolating for a long time. So In any case, there's a motion and second on the table. Does anyone wish to comment on it further before I call for a vote on that motion? Okay, hearing no further comment, if you vote yes, then you're voting to table any discussion of this subject until January, as suggested by Councilmember Tarantino. If you vote no, then you're voting to have a discussion tonight. Mr. Clerk, would you please call the roll on the motion?
Certainly. Councilman Trangucci.
Yes.
Councilman Tarantino.
Yes.
Councilman Rice.
No.
Councilman Hayden.
Yes.
Councilman Fertel.
No.
Councilwoman Rackman.
I'd like to say something before I cast my vote, if that's okay. I feel like we haven't received a lot of the information that would facilitate the conversation. I feel like I don't really have any kind of plans for the move of the city yard. I don't have the LDA to really look at, and I would like to table this, so I'm going to vote yes.
Hold on, okay. That's 4 votes to table it. You realize you're tabling it till January.
I do understand
Okay.
that.
Well, I'm going to make a statement while I vote, which is, I find this to be one of the most remarkable votes that's ever been cast at this table. Here we are simultaneously complaining that we're not getting the information we want. The staff proposes to share that information in a fashion which enables us all to digest it and ask questions. And so, in the same breath that we say we're not getting the information we need, we're saying, please don't give us the information or enable us to discuss it until January. That strikes me as a very strange logical inconsistency, and I truly don't understand it. So I certainly vote no on this motion.
I'm a Barry vote.
No, Barry already voted. I vote no on this motion, and I'd like to ask, in fact, that we're going to have some time because we have other executive session items that we've got to get through. I'd like to ask that there be some additional thought devoted to this subject by council members over the next few minutes, because it may be that some council members did not have an opportunity to think through fully the implications of this motion, and perhaps we'll come back to this. But the motion, the motion carries, and that's that.
Okay, before you even go further, this is, you talked about this as a very unusual vote.
Yes.
That's a very unusual request. 6 years on city council, I have never heard you once tell people to think after they made the vote. They thought, they made a vote. You win some, you lose some. Okay, well, let's move forward now.
Well,
So-
council member, if people don't want to reconsider, they don't have to reconsider. But everyone has a right to think through their choices, and in the same spirit of, we always try to get our agenda in advance before we cast votes. If you put something like that on the table without notification to council members, as is your right, maybe the people want a little more time to digest the suggestion.
Well, maybe
So-
we should put it out to see who wants more time, as opposed to,
You cannot curtail people's right to think about things.
they've already have, Mayor. They've
Okay.
already
And-
decided.
And if so, then there will be no change in the determination. We'll see. So
when will
we
we
have
come back with-
other executive session items that we need to get through. We have, I guess it would be 3 matters of real estate. Are you motioning to table Echo Bay and the city yard, or just Echo
Yes,
Bay?
both.
So it'll be 2 matters of real estate, 3 matters of litigation, and 2 matters of personnel. That's a grand total of 7. Can I have a unanimous motion second for those 7 executive session items?
So moved.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the executive session items carry. I'd ask those who do not need to be present to please excuse themselves at this time. The council will resume its business. I guess it's 7:15 is when we have public session.
That's correct.
Yep.
7:15.